here to help you run a profitable business that's fun to run and to take the hassle out of your hustle. And today is Wednesday, so we're here with Coach Caren, our money mindset coach. And I'm joined in the background by my partner, Miss Francine Gregory, real estate entrepreneur and tech diva. I'm Terralina from California Cover Ups, and we're the Biz Chicks. And so let's get our mind together so that our money will come together. So I welcome to the stage Coach Caren, all the way from Toronto, Canada, here to help us get our money mindset in order. Hey, Coach, what's happening?
Oh, good. Thank you, Terry. Always for this warm welcome that I get every Wednesday. I enjoy it. I'm excited.
You know we love you, girl.
I live
it. You know.
Yeah, all this month we're talking about money and the right mindset, right attitude towards money in your personal life, in your business. That's what we keep talking about. This is the money month. We're talking about it, how we make it, how we spend it, all the stuff we do with it. And, you know, each week I come and like just get back into what I've spoken about before so we can know that this is continuous and this is what we do, right? So the first week of this month, I spoke about being focused and understanding and allowing all your must to see what happens. And then we talked about the momentum, the start, the in between, and how you keep going. Last week, we cover picking a number to work towards and keeping track of what's coming in every penny so you could pay attention. Don't feel any way if you need to stop, get out pencil and paper and write it down. Okay, don't worry about the savvy people who can click a button. If that's not you, get out your pencil and your paper, put out your strokes, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, cross it off. Do not feel bad. Nobody's watching you. It's you watching you. Count how you must. Get out a calculator. That's the best way that is suited for you, but pay attention to those pennies that you know that you are bringing in. Pay close attention. Pay close attention also to your expenses and your spending, making sure you're not spending because you don't know what to do with yourself or you're feeling hungry at the moment or you're buying because somebody passed you with a KFC bag and it looks wonderful and you really not checking on KFC today. You are working towards your fitness goals. So KFC is going to throw you off. Don't go spend it. You're going to lose two things, your money and your goal that you're working towards. Get you despondent and then you don't want to do anymore. Okay? Pay attention, pay attention, pay attention, pay attention. Don't mind me, people. It's pretty warm here today, but then it gets cold. This is Caren and her hot and cool business. So it's me putting on. Take it out,
you
right?
know, it's Indian summer all over the United States. So, you know, one day it's hot and then the next day it's raining. And it's an interesting season right now.
So that's what's going on. And today it's no different. We're still talking towards attitude towards your money. And it's so important because when you got the right attitude, even when you don't see the results right away, even though you don't see the things you're working towards, believe you me, it's working in the background. It's happening. Things are being, you know, God is working. He's done set it out. Things are moving. Calm down. It's working. Okay. So 3 things we're going to look at today. 3 things you're going to look at today. I'm going to make this statement and tell me, Terry, you get what you put in. Is that statement on point? Do you get what you put in? Yeah.
Absolutely.
And do you feel you work?
You invest in?
Yes. What you know, the time you put into it. I'm going to go back to the karate people again, the karate experts, the people who can break wood, the people who can. I remember I love karate movies when I was younger, and I still do. And I had a friend, a Chinese friend, and I said to him, do people can really break the wood with their hands, you know? And I mean, yes, they can. Excuse me. He and his brother, they did karate since they were kids. And of course, I got a piece of wood. I'm like, it's rotten. That's why you did it, Tony. He's like, okay, let's get a clean wood. So we went over to a friend that always carved fresh wood. And the wood came. We checked it, make sure there's no glue. And of course, there wasn't. But of course, at that time, I was like still arguing the point that there's no way he could break the wood, right, with his hand. And the best thing is, it's just joking because people just come around for, you know, whatever's happening. 2 people hold the wood and Tony set up himself and he's like, and broke the wood, right?
There you go.
He knew he could do it. There was no question in his mind. The question was in our mind, not in Tony's mind. Okay?
Yes.
It was in our mind. Yeah.
Gotcha.
Oh,
Gotcha.
really, truly.
Well, I'm feeling you. My grandson takes taekwondo, and
Okay.
when he did, I was just like, okay, because he's so little. I'm like,
Yeah.
but yeah,
It's a
it's
technique.
fascinating, isn't it?
Yes, I still out to this day is a technique in how you do it, what they're doing, and their positioning people. They're setting up their mind. Cause he was a school teacher too, and we used to talk a lot about this. He says, when I
Hmm.
get a new class, when I get new people in my classroom, he says, a lot of teachers don't like me for this, but the kids come in, and the first thing I do when they come in, I don't ask them how was their day and what's happening. I said, let's breathe. He does breathing exercise with them. He get them calm down. And by the time he starts talking to them, they want to talk to him. They want to tell him. And he used to teach a lot of his classes based on what they were feeling and what was happening with the kids,
Mm.
which meant his class got so much great reviews. All his kids would do well in his classroom because he was never trying, even though they need to achieve the same thing like the
Hmm.
next class, he did it differently. He worked off of how they were feeling, what they were going through, and he would pull that out of them. And by the end of that semester, those kids don't even realize how much letter they're written, all the English stuff that they didn't like, they would do because he was very good at finding what was inside of them and bringing it to
Oh,
the surface. What a wonderful teacher he was. Um, so, you know, the second one was, do you feel you're working towards at the pace you should?
mm.
Not the pace you think you should, the pace people told you you should, or what's happening in the wide world. Your pace. Your pace
Okay.
is not like my pace.
Okay. So if you're not moving toward what you think is your pace, how do you figure out what your pace is? I think I'm confused.
I'm going to tell you about it in a minute.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
'Cause I'm
Oh,
like,
yeah. So
okay,
I'm going to tell you about it.
that's not a choice, and that's not. Okay. Go ahead, Coach.
And number three, we got to talk about, do you need to slow it down to get it right? So then we're going to tip into that, right?
Mm.
We're going to tip into that. And I'll tell you why. After I had my last son, I thought it was getting heart attacks. I swear up and down, my heart is going to leave me and I'm going to die. I was, just feeling, I couldn't explain it. And I keep going to the doctor. And finally, on the second visit, she did my heart. She put me on the machine. She says, Karen, you're fit as a fiddle. Everything's great. And then the second time she sent me to the hospital, she says, you need to go and let them do a thorough because if you're feeling that, I don't want to go against your feeling. And this is really about 19 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
And the nurse at the hospital said, she think I'm getting panic attacks. It wasn't a heart situation. And and she was leaving, and the nurse that took over was such a wonderful nurse because she said to me, she said, Karen, she started talking to me like she knew me. She goes, so what are you stressing out about? Because if you can't change it, there's no need to worry about it. And we start talking about prayers, we talking about meditation. She was not talking about where I was hooked up. That was not her thing. She was just chatting with me like we were longtime friends, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then she checked everything. She said, you're wonderfully fit. You're blessed by God. What are you doing here? Whose problems are you taking on? Why are you bringing it with?
Mm.
And we went into this whole spiel with me. And I told her I just had a baby, la, 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 la. Number three or whatever. She says, okay, so you've got some things to sort out. And it ain't medical. But it's showing up this way because it's telling you that you need to pay attention to whatever was going on, right? And
Mm.
she gave me some good advice. She says, when you're starting to feel like this, breathe. And I'm like, but I'm breathing. She's like, no, you're panicking. Breathe. And I
Mhm.
went back and and Pierce was only a couple of weeks old. And I went back and I started looking at things. I was investigating him, and the warning really wasn't for me. I found out later. He was born and his whole neck here, the muscle was pulled when they had to assist me getting him out. And apparently they pull on his neck. And so this whole thing started swelling. And so now, once I was able to calm myself down and I started
Mhm.
paying attention to him because we have this tradition that we look after the kids in terms of massages and exercise, and we pull them and move them around and all sorts of things. And I noticed it, and I went to my doctor and I started talking to her about it. And she says, I tell her what the lady, the nurse at the hospital, and she said, "Oh my gosh, Karen, you were panicking. This is an internal panic happening, and you didn't even know that it is manifesting itself this way." Because my doctor and I always say she's such a wonderful woman. Like we just talk way beyond just go and look at me and leave, right? And we start talking one thing next, and she says, "You were getting tapped on your shoulders to pay attention to this stuff." Because by the time we got into physio and stuff, everybody said if he didn't get looked after right away, this could have been more than what it was when it started off. So you have to pay attention. Slow down. Okay, this story is not about money, but it's understanding your whole life and what's happening in your life and how these things transcend into monies. And I'll tell you why. If
Okay.
you don't have any money, what do? You panic. You panic and you don't even understand what a panic can lead to. We never understand, and that's why money, I always say money is so entwined. The day I found this out, I was like, and anytime I talk about it, my skin pores just raise. It is so entwined and entangled into all the fibers of what's going on. Money is not only about the spending and the expenses, it's just so much other things that comes along with it. Anytime you panic for money, it pushes it away. I want to just say this right here, right now. When you panic about money, it pushes it away.
Well, it's, you know what? I got this vision when you said that of, anything you chase is going to run.
Ah, Terry, you know how you fix things up. I love it.
Whether it's a deer or
Yes.
what, if you're a hunter or
Yep.
whatever you're chasing, it's probably running
Mm-hmm.
in an opposite direction, or you wouldn't be chasing it.
Yes. Yes. So we're circling back to why you have to do it at your own pace, because the pace you were set up, you were born with, you come here to do, you're moving out to that rhythm to get into somebody else's rhythm. Like the people who say to kids, you need to move a little faster, man. You're too slow. We're taking them, they're going to get to that place. The biggest thing I learned, my mom is a very slow woman. She does everything slowly. You cannot be in a hurry.
Does she do it slowly or does she do it deliberately? Or deliberately slow?
It looks slow to me, Terry. Let me tell you.
I know, because when you're waiting on somebody, it's like.
And I explain how to do it quickly, you understand? Because I am those kid who is, and I used to say to my mom, we could do it faster, or I could help you do it quickly. She would just look at me.
You know why? Because I have found that when I get out of my rhythm, I forget crucial things.
That's what she said.
It's sort of like when people tell you, oh, you know what? That pocketbook doesn't match. You change the pocketbook and you find out you had something in one of those pockets in the other pocketbook that is vital to what you're doing that day. Does that make sense?
And people will get you out. It sounds like simple as a book, but people get you out of your rhythm just like that in so many different forms. But you're simplifying it. We're talking about a pocketbook. Of course, it makes sense. And that's what we're talking about with the rhythm. In business, let's push it over to business. Same thing happened. So now, let's say you had a coach, and the coach said you don't listen to anybody else, but there's so much noise that you're like, how could you tell me that when I know that if I only listen to Sally, I would be further along? It's not true, but you think if I listen to Sally and I leave Coach Caren alone, I would be so further along because Sally seems to be knowing what she's doing. No, you don't know A, how long Sally's been doing it. B, you don't know if Sally is just hyping you up, but when you get to Sally, she does not gonna get you there. But the noise is so loud that you think you need to go over to Sally. And then you might spend months before you come back and realize, holy crap. If I had just stayed here in my peace on my journey, I would have been there.
There you go. If I had just focused.
Just focus. If I had just focused. And that's why I bring it back again to the percentage we work at. When you work at 100%, and I've been testing this theory and I've been working on myself, especially in my workout routine in the mornings. Every time I shift, every time I move or blink, I say, Caren, are you working at 100%? And I can tell you when I'm at 80 and when I'm at 100. The sweat tells me, my behavior tells me, and my body tells me, in whatever we're doing. And you get there. I know it's 30, 35 minutes that I'm going to work out. I'm going to finish at 35 minutes. Once I stay the course, if I feel extra tired, I still going to get there 35 minutes. I can do it because I'm 100% present with my
Mm-hmm.
instructor and I'm there. We're getting it done. When the 35 minutes is up, we're getting it done and it's done. And then I move on to the next thing.
So we just need to stay the course.
Stay the course.
Okay.
Find your rhythm and stay the
Stay the
course.
course. And I heard someone say every once in a while we need to reassess our priorities
Yes.
because sometimes we need to just refresh and note, take another look at things
Yes.
to see if we need to reprioritize. Is that a
Yes.
word?
You have to tweak. Life is about tweaking flexibility, but staying focused. And you say, kind of, there's a whole bunch of things together. It is a whole bunch of things together, but it's going to get you there. Because if you set out a 5-year plan to
Mm-hmm.
reach a certain amount of monies or a mind, we talk about money, but mind frame too. Like I want to be able to be quick on my thinking. I want to be focused. I'm a focused person by the time X, Y, and Z, because this is a plan you can have too, and you're working towards that plan. Things,
Mm-hmm.
life is going to happen, things are going to come up, but you know what your goal post is, so you're always working towards it. Even when you
Mm-hmm.
get a detour, you know where you need to end up, so you're coming back there. All your thoughts and your processes should be about getting back there. If you were thinking about making $1 million in the next 5 years, 2 years, whatever that time was, everything that you do would be towards that $1 million. You can't listen to the people who said you're money hungry, you're worshiping what you can't listen to them, because you know that's not what it is. Your plan was to make $1 million. And usually, when somebody got a plan, it's because they've got things that they want to do with $1 million. They want to,
Mm-hmm.
usually, it's to help people, it's to look after this, it's to do that. It's never just because I want $1 million. It never, ever is.
Mm-hmm.
Most people are working towards that kind of money, towards some bigger thing than themselves. That's
Mm-hmm.
why they want to do it. Now, lots of times people are going to come at you. People not they're not if they're going to come at you, they need to disrupt to see if you're strong and focused and want to work on what you said you want to work on. So they're coming to test you. They're going to want $20 from you, but maybe a year down the road you'll be in a better position to give them $1,000 versus the $20. They
Mm-hmm.
can't wait. They let you know how desperate they are, how you don't want to, you're greedy, you name it, that's fine. You got to keep your focus. You don't have to tell them, but you have to keep your focus. I need to make $1 million. I need to make $1 million because blah, 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 blah. And a million net, so that there's not other things coming out of it, because then you wouldn't get to the $1 million. You have to understand what you're doing, what you need it for, why you need it.
Mm-hmm.
And some people need to even go to the extreme where they need to be, if not themselves, be among people who has experienced the feeling of $1 million to see what it feel about. And don't worry about where you are. I know everybody look after the US and the US dollar. But wherever you are and you're a millionaire there, you're a millionaire there. It doesn't really matter what's happening, you're a millionaire there. And you gotta
Mm-hmm.
really make peace with that. And you can
Okay.
work toward the US million if you're not in the USA, but you or wherever you are, you gotta really pay attention. So even if your country's poor, but you're at a million, you're a millionaire right there. I want to say that again. Wherever you are, you're a millionaire right there. It's a different feeling when you hold $1 million in your hand. It's a different feeling when you hold $5,000 in your hand. If you
Mm-hmm.
ever hold $100,000 in your hand at any time, it gives you a different awakening. You feel different in your person, in your being. And the minute you touch $1 million, you feel so different. You feel different. You feel you can conquer the world. It
Mm-hmm.
don't have to be true, but you feel and you start deciding how this money could be spread out. Now, there's the people who spread it way thinner than it needs to because they go crazy. Let's not forget them, but that's okay. But you start seeing life differently. So if you
Mm-hmm.
start living into the idea about what a million can do, then it's easier. I'm not saying it's easy, but it's easier to work towards that project. Even if
Oh.
it feels foreign, initially.
Okay.
Because remember, we're talking about the right attitude towards money.
Mm-hmm.
This is also part of how you ask for the sale. This is also part of how you run your business properly. Fit. You want to run a fit business, a fun, fit business. It needs to be fit because when it's fit, when it's trimmed, when it's understandable, it becomes profitable. You can't be confused in your business. You can't make money.
Okay.
You better start getting clarity. You can't be confused. You have to understand in your business, especially when you're starting, if you make $20, what needs to come out of that $20? All the things that has to come out of the $20. You can't. I remember talking to this business owner, and she had to buy stuff to make stuff to sell the stuff. And I said to her, "You have just spent all your profit." And she said, "What are you talking about? The ride to get the stuff cost
Mm-hmm.
money. Did you pay the guy?" "Yes, I did." "Okay." Then you paid him to take the produce up to your place of business. And then you sell the stuff, and then he collected you in the afternoon, and you paid him again to go back and pick up more stuff to do the same thing all over again the next day and the next day and the next day. And she said to me, Karen, I don't make enough money, and that's why I have to do it every day. And of course, you guys know how I love my numbers. So, of course, the numbers had to come in front of me. And I said, "This is a lie you've been telling yourself. I know you hate me right now. Don't care. You made enough money to buy for at least 3 days a week. What you
Mm.
have been doing is not paying attention to the pennies because they're seeing pennies to you. And she was paying the person who worked with her on a daily basis. What nonsense is this? What nonsense is this? The person gets paid at the end of the week. The person gets paid every 2 weeks, but never every day. And if that person want to be paid cash every day, she cannot work for you. It's that simple.
Mm.
Cannot work for you. And her and I got on the phone and said to the person, "Listen, you're going to be paid every week, not on Friday, but on Saturday mornings." And the person was like, "Oh my God, thank you so much." Because every day I get the money goes through my hand. I was hoping I could just get it in a lump sum because I don't know, I don't able to keep my money. They were thanking her for not paying them every day because they weren't able to control their money.
Uh-huh.
So it end up working out well. But you as the business owner have to understand these things. So if you know that a product is $20 and you have to cater for things on the computer, things for your time to go pick it up, gas in your car, administration fee, the product fee, all those things have to be accounted for before you see what the business is making. And then the labor involved, whether it's yours or somebody else, has to come out of there. And then you see what profit is made in your business. And you have to have the right attitude when that's happening. You can't be, it's not like you mustn't be frustrated, but you can't stay there.
Mm-hmm.
Be
Mm-hmm.
frustrated and then you got to leave to fix it. Frustration doesn't fix anything. It really doesn't. You're frustrated and nothing gets fixed.
Mm.
Because when you ever see a child, you ever see how kids behave, how they're excited about things? That's the child part of us that we sometimes is missing. We're so caught up in that doubting that we miss that thing. So start
Mm.
laughing at yourself when you're frustrated. I think the best release is to give yourself a good laugh at. When you're frustrated, you
Ah.
really and truly just need to laugh at yourself. Just laugh at yourself, get a good laugh, it breaks things up, and you're
Mm-hmm.
not so serious anymore. And when that's happening, you get a chance to start looking at it differently. Like when the nurse told me to breathe and stop, hyperventilating, then things start clearing. It's not, I got out of the panic state and my heart rate came down and I'm more leveled out and I'm at a different place. If I didn't get that kind of nurse, they could have given me something to bring down my heart rate. Next thing you know, I'm suffering from something else. That, you see what I mean? And that's
And
medical.
in the medication
Mm,
cycle.
yeah, exactly.
Hmm. Then next thing you know,
Exactly.
and you got a pill to take care of the side effects of A, and a pill to take care of the side effects of B, and next thing you know, you got stuff lined up. When really, I heard someone say the other day, and I spoke to this, I think Monday, was that fear comes in when there's no plan for the situation.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So the fact that you're saying slow down,
Yes.
focus,
Yes.
pay attention,
Yes.
all of these things can result when you have a plan, and you can't plan in the if you got constant chaos. You
You
got
can't. You can't. You can't. You really can't. The first time I decided to add organization to my business, and I went in, and for the person I went in to organize, I ended up the whole day, I didn't do anything. It was really me and her eyeballing each other and going through the processes. I didn't do anything. I told her I
mm,
wouldn't touch anything. We went into her closet, we went into her bedroom, and I just had her touch things and talk to me about them and see where we were at and what was going on. And she lost her husband at a young age. They weren't 28. And so all this stuff, she's just buying stuff. And so
mm-hmm,
all I had her do was just touch the stuff and ask me what it's doing for her. Ask her what it's doing for her, what kind of memories bringing up, why? Why is the place so cluttered? So we didn't do anything the first day. Day two, I actually just sat there and watched her do stuff. I didn't touch anything. I think it's the third day before we went into really organizing what go in where and who get what and what happened. And she needed that. She needed that process. She needed to cry. She needed to get mad. She needed to tear paper. She needed to just vent. It was a process. I mean, we had to take breaks. We came back to it. When people offer organization for people, it's never just come in and fix people's stuff. You're fixing people. You're helping them fix themselves. You're
mm-hmm.
showing them the path to where they need to be, because that was a lot of money going down the drain. By the way,
Yes.
at that time, I wasn't doing coaching money wise, but I really experienced a lot of different things in before I even became a coach in terms of money and waste and where people put things in. So there's a lot of these stuff that I have experienced through clients and watch them do it and see how people use outward things. So when it comes to money, your attitude, if you got a bad attitude about money, I've got to tell you, unless you have built up your wealth before or you inherit it,
Mm-hmm,
if you broke and you got nothing coming towards you, you got a stinking attitude. Now it might look like it's coming towards you, it'll trickle in, but it
mm-hmm,
doesn't come in abundance. And when it comes, it doesn't stay. It goes right back out. It
mm.
can't stay. It has no place to rest. You are restless. It can't stay with you. It is
Wow.
restless with you. So it leaves because the place is not where it want to be and settle, and it
Mm-hmm.
goes away and you without it. And you have to ask yourself, what am I doing? That's why I don't have money. What am I doing? That's why I'm broke. Not because this happened or that happened. What am I doing? Why I'm broke? Why money don't stay with me? Who am I carrying on my back? Whose problems have I inherited and taken upon myself as my own? And why am I doing this? This is time for quiet. This is time for quiet in the mind, sitting there and having these conversations, getting a mirror if that's what you need. Maybe initially you can't go to the mirror yet because you don't want to see that side of you yet. And I understand that. But eventually you need to see you. You need to confront you. You need to understand you so you can have a better attitude towards it. Not about worshiping it, but understanding it. It's like a tool. If you don't understand the hammer, you're going to pound your fingers over and over.
Yes.
You're going to screw in a screw in a drywall instead of putting a bracket behind it so the screw can stay for the hook you're going to put up.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Got to really understand so that you can really do well in your business, do well in your personal life, and then in your business, because business is their extension of you. And so your business will fail and you keep feeling like a failure. But really, it's lessons you're learning and you're not paying attention to the lessons.
Mm. All right. So let's review. Oh my goodness. Uh,
So you got to work towards your pace. You have to understand this stuff. You really, and the work you're putting in is the work you're getting back out. You can lie to everybody else, but you can't lie to yourself.
mm-hmm.
You can't lie to yourself. When you look in your person, there's nothing, there's nothing. In your person.
That's good. That's good.
You can't do that. There's nothing
The
is coming
truth is the
here.
truth, right?
Right? So going back to my
Hi,
principles.
Pat. How you doing?
Right, Pat? Back to my principles. You need
Mm-hmm,
to keep a 20 bucks in your purse there for the
mm-hmm,
purpose of understanding the laws of keeping. That's what it's there for. just to
Mm-hmm.
train your mind that it's okay for you to have money. It's okay for
Mm-hmm.
you to live in abundance. It's okay for you to, so that you can have enough so you can share to other people. Like, the 10% to tithing or giving away, the 10%, so that later on in life you can really, in your old age, you can spend it talking to young people because you're not worried about money anymore. It's there, it's
Mm-hmm.
looking after you. You cannot give them the kind of advice like, girl, in my day and age. No, you can give them the real advice because they can't hear it out one way you're sucking your teeth.
I love it. You said you're sucking your teeth. Oh my God. Or when you're just angry.
Yeah,
I have met so many people who are unprepared for different things in life, and they are so angry
so angry.
when life, because life takes some turns.
And it's
we've all
gonna.
we've
It's
all been there.
gonna, it's
We've
gonna take some turns. I remember my dad telling me this thing. He said, when I got to the police force and I got it, and my captain said to me, here's my two shoes. Here's the polish, because in those days they shine their shoes. Shine
hmm
my shoes. That's what the new recruit do, la 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 la. And my dad said, "You got to be kidding me! I'm not shining your shoes." And the guy says, "You're not shining my shoes. You're a police officer. That's what you came to do." He says, "No, that's not what a police officer do." He says, "You got in here by the skin of your teeth." My dad said no. And he told him what his degree was in. He said, "I'm highly educated. I think probably more educated than you, but we're not going to go there. But I'm not shining your shoes." See, my dad knew he had an option. He didn't have to stay there. He wanted to be in the force. And sometimes you get yourself in a situation where you think you can't leave. And I'm saying this not to boast about it. I'm saying this that you need to know where you stand. And I don't care what you're doing, you have other options, but you have to know you have the options. You see, you have to know. And if money's making you stay there and somebody's treating you bad, you can't stay. You got to find a way to move. But because you look after your money attitude, because you look after where you're going, you can leave. You can really and truly leave. We always ask when people leave and they have nothing, how could you, what courage did you get to just leave?
hmm
Whether they understand why they leave or not, there's so many things that was happening. And so they might have known exactly what made them move. But once it's just a little, just tiny. When you talk about mustard seed, right? Just tiny. It just has, the faith just has to be tiny, and you can feel it, see it, and touch it. I know you can't touch it, but you feel you can touch it. You can
hmm
leave. Whatever's happening, you can leave, and things will fall into place when you leave. God will send people. People will show up. They will show up and they'll help lift you up and move you to the next place, and then move you to the next place, and move you until you are where you need to be. But when you're there, you better start paying attention, because it's going to happen again and again and again if you're not listening to what's been told to you.
mm Wow. All right. Let those who have ears hear.
Oh, lady.
mm
I hope I'm talking to you guys about money in a different format, but
hmm
pay attention to it. Pay attention to your feeling. Pay attention how you structure things. Pay attention what you say, the word you're talking about it. Don't want it on one hand and condemning on the other hand. Don't do that. Don't believe in God. Go to church and you tell people you believe in God and you're gone with them. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I don't really believe in religion. Stop it. I believe in God and I have a personal relationship with Him. Maybe I don't like the church, but don't get involved in chatting with people who's on that side. You stay your course. Don't go forgetting who you are. Stay your course. Pay attention. Pay attention to who you are. That's it today, guys.
I love it. I love it. Okay. So we learned in order to keep our money, we need to keep our minds straight. And there's some things we have to do. And I love the fact that you told us that we can give ourselves permission to slow down and move at our own pace and make sure that we know what we're doing so that we can duplicate it. Is
Yes.
that an essence
That's in
of
essence of, yep, that's it. Essence.
okay? All right. So with that, I just want to say to everybody, we're so glad to have had Coach Caren here today. We always learn so much from you, Coach. and so many things we take for granted, and you just bring them out and give us permission to practice those things that we really know in our heart need to be done.
Yes.
So if you're looking for Coach Caren, she can be found anywhere on the web under the Island Girl Hustle. So
Yes.
you can find her on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and a number of other places that we're going to have her going to. But
Yeah,
she
and
is
my
a
group, Island Girl Hustle, is
genius.
a free group. We're in there talking. It's a free classroom, if you will, because a lot of teaching is happening there. So
Oh, see, and is that the Facebook group?
yeah, Facebook group, Island Girl Hustle.
So
Yeah.
you can request to join her Facebook
Yes.
group, the Island Girl Hustle.
Come on in. Let's talk. Let's answer some questions. Let's move it. Let's move it. No matter how small, to get to where your big goal is.
I love it. So we want to thank Francine
Yeah. Thanks,
for
friend.
producing in the background. All those watching on YouTube, we're giving you a shout out. Hi,
Hmm.
Terrell. How you doing? Terrell Knox just joined us. Pat and Brenna
Hi, Brenna. Hi, Pat.
and all of you
Hi,
guys
Terrell.
watching. So we got folks in North Carolina and California and Canada.
Yo,
God
you're
is
international.
international. God is good. So with that, I want to say that tomorrow is Thursday, and we will be talking about happy, healthy habits with Robin Shimizu and friends. Don't miss it, because if you don't have your health, you can't keep your wealth. So with that, I just want to say, don't forget
To
to
go
go
to
to the
the
front of
front
your
of
own
your
line.
mind.
Have a great day. Bye
Bye,
bye.
everybody.